Broadcasting just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's the Digital Advocate.
Welcome to an episode of the Digital Advocate. I'm Nick Nichols, and what we're going to do today is share with you the first in a series of 3 broadcasts that talk about exactly how we build a website. Now, this is kind of a neat story in that I have a Facebook account, obviously, like every other digital person. And typically my morning consists of waking up in the morning, rolling over, looking at my phone, and making sure that I don't have emails or, of course, Facebook things that I have to immediately attend to. Well, one morning in this group that I'm a part of, up comes this picture of a pair of high heel shoes. And it's weird because it's in a Formula One group. And I'm looking at this and I made a couple things. Hey, this guy needs a website. And here we go. 10 minutes later, mind you, while I'm still laying in bed, I'm having a conversation back and forth via Facebook with this guy that lives in Northern Ireland. So here's a little video that I would like to show you about Pippen. And then we'll meet Pippen via Skype, and we'll talk about how we're going to take the website from an idea that literally happened one morning while laying in bed to something that's going to be pretty cool for the both of us.
I started the airbrushing when I was over in the States about 7-8 years ago. A friend asked me to paint a motorcycle and I just sort of went for it. I like the versatility of an airbrush. You can paint anything from a hairline to a big fade out. I airbrush anything from what everybody expects, motorcycles and lorries. It's gone into wall murals, and I've even gone as far as painting high heel shoes for women. I'm looking at the idea of painting wedding cakes, obviously with edible ink. Also, another thing I'm sort of planning on doing is body painting, where you paint clothes onto a person's body. I mean, the sky's the limit.
So when I saw that, I knew I had to meet this guy. And here he is, Pippen.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. I'm going to give them an idea of kind of where we're starting from, and then I want to hear a little bit about you.
Okay.
Basically what happened was, like I said, we met through Facebook. Pippen had been searching. How long had you been looking to do a website?
Really, I had a website, Nick, for a while, but I really was quite lazy with it. And so probably the last year or so, I've been sort of kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, and so it was just kind of odd that in this Formula One group, where all we do really is talk about cars, suddenly there's this picture of shoes. And they were just so incredibly well done that I had to look into who's this guy that's, likes Formula One and shoes. And we started a conversation. And basically what we're going to do at this point is we've gone out and found a WordPress template. That's going to be the beginning of the website. We're putting together a YouTube channel because obviously we're going to have videos and things about Pippen. And then the last couple things are that he already has a Facebook page, so we're going to tie that in. And then the fourth thing is a Google account. So those are the foundations and the core of how you take this Northern Ireland artist and put him online so that he can sell his products, demonstrate his abilities all over the world. And it's kind of neat because the real goal right now that we have is just to make enough money that he can get on a plane and fly to Las Vegas so that we can spend time playing the studio. So with that, Pippen, kind of give us a little bit of a background of how you got into the airbrush and why the airbrush. And I know the video touched on that, but and then I got to know, how the heck did the shoes and Marc Marquez and all of that, how did that evolve?
I was airbrushing in the States, Nick. I lived there for a few years, and in the States it was all about Harley Davidson. When I moved back to Ireland, due to my father had an illness. When I came back to Ireland, the attitude about Harley Davidsons is completely different than in the United States. People here aren't so flamboyant and aren't so keen to customize their well-earned money on their motorcycle. So most people here tend to want to keep their original paintwork. So I had to look at something else to paint. Came across a pair of high-heeled shoes that I painted for one reason only, Nick, and that was to demonstrate or to show off some realistic flames. It was nothing to do with shoes. It was when I then showed those flames on Facebook that things went a little bit crazy for me.
Well, yeah, and to kind of be clear as to how we do this, people just kind of come to you and they say, hey, I want some custom shoes. It's not like you go out and make these. And I mean, they're pretty well one-ofs that you make for people, with really like a painting. Yes,
absolutely. A lot of the time I'll just produce a shoe because I want to. For example, the shoe that you saw that morning you woke up wasn't commissioned. It was something that I just fancied doing, and stuck it up on Facebook as with my other designs. But there are times when somebody wants maybe corporate shoes or just a design of their choice, whatever they want, but I have my own. I do my own designs also.
Yeah, and how? Tell us a little bit about. Did you actually meet Marc Marquez when you were doing those shoes?
No, those were commissioned by a guy who is he sells the Honda Repsol merchandise in Germany, and he had been ordering shoes from me. His daughter travels a lot with him to the Grand Prix, and his daughter was seen wearing the shoes a lot at the Grand Prix, whatnot. So this guy obviously got a lot of further orders then for the shoes, and one of the ladies who ordered the shoes from him and therefore through me, she happened to meet Marquez and got a signature with them. Yeah, it was. I haven't met him.
And Scott, do you have that picture where you can pull it up? Oh, you did. Okay, great. Okay. The other, we're doing a 3 different way studio thing here, so some things I can see and some things I can't. The one thing, and the other thing that we talked about, and I don't know whether you've shown this or not, Scott, is have you shown the website yet? Okay. On the website, I think you'll notice up in the corner that we just put a placeholder in for the logo. And Pippen and I have got a kind of a neat little idea. Well, I've actually asked him, begged him, to come up and just take like a piece of steel and produce a logo. So that's kind of what we're going to do next is he's going to come up with his own neat little logo. We're going to use that, here forward as kind of his brand. And that's going to be something that we thought maybe, we might be able to do for other companies too. So kind of a neat idea, huh, Pippen?
Absolutely, yes. Signage is my work goes a lot further than shoes, Nick. shoes is a part of it, but and quite a big part of it. But I will airbrush anything, signage, vehicles, clothing, you name it.
Yeah. I've seen some of your airbrush. I think you name it probably encompasses most of that. Yes. All right. Well, I tell you what, this has been a lot of fun, Pippen. And what we're going to do is we'll get back in a month or so once we get the site up. We'll talk about, how it's done and the products that we've had some success with and take it from here.
Sounds good.
Thank you for your time, my friend. And
thank you.
And we'll talk soon.
Okay. Nice talk.
And with that, the Digital Advocate will conclude its first installment of 3 and how a website actually happens in the real world. Thank you.